take all of those pain points and make sure you drive home how your product serves and meets those needs in those images. And you provided a great tip, which is, hey, use a tool like Sellametrics to understand which order should I place these images in.
Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. Are you ready to unlock the full potential and growth in your business? You've already crossed 7 figures in sales, but the challenge is knowing how to take your business to the next level. Join Josh Hadley, an 8-figure Ecomm business owner and investor, as he interviews highly successful business owners. Get ready, because you're going to learn specific actions you can take today to help your business reach its full potential and leave a lasting impact on the world.
Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Hadley, where I interview the top business leaders in e-commerce. Past guests include Kevin King, Michael E. Gerber, author of The E-Myth, and Matt Clark from ASM. Today, I am speaking with Andrei Ureche of Sellametrics, and we're going to be talking a lot about how to optimize and improve the conversion rate on your Amazon product listings, and thus helping you increase in your organic ranking as well. This episode is brought to you by Ecomm Breakthrough Consulting, where I help 7-figure companies grow to 8 figures and beyond. Listen, Andrei, I started my business back in 2015, and I grew it to an 8-figure brand in 7 years. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way that made the path of getting to 8 figures take a lot longer than it needed to. At times, I made a lot of bad hiring decisions. I had to take money from my personal bank account in order to fund payroll for our team because of cash flow constraints. I stressed about whether our brand was going to survive when we experienced a 90% decline in sales during COVID. I remember wishing and hoping that I could have a mentor that could guide me along the way of scaling up. Somebody who had been there, done that, and could share all the secrets to help me overcome those obstacles. And that's why I've decided to offer one-on-one coaching or consulting, where I help share the nitty-gritty cash flow frameworks, sales strategies, and operating systems that have helped me scale my own business. And because I believe in giving each entrepreneur my undivided attention, I only work with 3 clients at a time. But first, I want to make sure we're a perfect match. So I'm offering a completely free, no strings attached business strategy audit valued at over $10,000. And so this audit is my way of showing you just how committed I am to your success. If this is something that you're up for, drop me an email at josh@ecommbreakthrough.com with the subject line, I want to pick your brain. And then let's chat about how we can take your brand to the next level. Before introducing today's guest, I want to give a big thank you to Norm Lanier. Norm is the Chief Creative Officer and founder behind Lone Star Art, which is the top place online people go to get metal, wood, and other types of signs for their home. His storefront even creates personalized, hilarious signs, and he is a great friend. So today I am excited to introduce you to Andrei Ureche, a Canadian entrepreneur originally from Moldova, boasting a 7-figure success story. He manages 3 thriving brands on Amazon and proudly serves as the founder of Sellametrics, home of the most advanced A/B testing suite tailored for Amazon sellers. Norm connected us, Andrei, and I am super excited to have you on the show. So welcome to the show.
Hey, Norm, what's up? Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure. Let's go.
Awesome. Andrei, super excited to have you on. Norm had some amazing things to say about you. He's been using your A/B testing tool, Sellametrics. He's seen some good success. And Andrei, you're talking to an audience today of 7-figure sellers, which means they have a market fit with their product. But I think everybody, even myself included, I'm always trying to improve my conversion rate. Amazon is only getting more and more difficult as the days go by. With the introduction of AI, it makes a lot of the overseas sellers, it makes their lives a little bit easier. And that original moat of language and culture that we had is kind of starting to erode away. So, Andrei, we talked before this. You said that one of your main superpowers is conversion rate optimization. So I would love to hear, Andrei, how did you get into the world of conversion rate optimization, and how do I improve my conversion rate for my Amazon product?
Yeah. So 7-figure seller, that's my people. I'm a part of that tribe and I love it. Well, I've started on Amazon in 2015. And prior to that, I was playing with niche websites. I was doing design for stock websites like Shutterstock, iStock, where we all buy the images and stuff like that. So that's where I learned photography, graphic design, and all those things. So as I was saying before, I'm not the best of all of them, but being like an Amazon seller, doing the business myself, right, as an entrepreneur and having a small team, that really like made a kind of like unique blend of skills that I stumbled upon. I'm like, okay, that's something interesting, right? And the need to build Sellametrics came from a personal need because the guys, the big players on the market, were kind of expensive and didn't really fully answer my needs. Because listen, I sell on Amazon. It's a different platform than I don't know, eBay or your Shopify website. And the way the psychology works of the shopper when he's on Amazon is a completely different thing than on your website. Because when you're on your website, when somebody comes to your website, there's nobody beside you over there. So you dictating the rule of the conversion of the game, right? Because okay, I'm here, I landed, I spent my time, like I dedicated you some attention, so please convert me. Now you have the chance. On Amazon, it's like that. And it's a special medium, right? So all those skills like kind of like sharpen my ability to do this. So once again, I'm not the best in all of this, but I have a few things to say.
I love that.
And Norm is a rock star and is one of our biggest customers, always testing, always improving, and I like what he's doing. So he knows finally what works.
I love that. And I think what's important, you mentioned this previously, but you actually have like a graphic design background, and you also have a photography background,
Yeah.
which I think goes a long way when it comes to conversion rate optimization, especially for main images. So, Andrei, I think we'll start from there. How, like, if we were to put together a bullet pointed list of, hey, here are the different levers that you can pull to optimize the conversion rate of your Amazon listing, where do you start? Let's go from most important lever and work our way down.
Okay, so what's affecting the conversion rate? It's three things. It's the clarity, the effectiveness, and it's the popularity. Well, what's the clarity? It's the clarity of your message. How clearly you're communicating what you want to say, right? Like, is there any resistance in it or no, right? Then there is the effectiveness, right? How well is your product addressing the issues and the pain points of the customer? And then there's the popularity. It's the social proof, right? How many reviews you have or how many badges you have from reputable sources. So by combining all of them together, you can kind of like have an understanding and have a clear message where this is what it is. Like it addresses the best. You can have an unclear message without an effective product, right? So if the message is clear but you're not answering what it is, then well, I'm not going to buy it because it's not. For example, let's take Advil, right? You have a headache and it doesn't work, right? You try it one time, you're not going to buy it again. Now, if there appear more products on the market, right? More Advils, like store-bought Advils, and all of them responds to your pain point, then what will help? What will make you differ from all of those? It's the social proof, the brand power, because the brand power is the part of the social proof. So all of those combined will actually make your product stand out. On Amazon, there's a lot of unclarity. It's a lot of noise, as we say it, right? We as seller, we come from a background of data usually. So we kind of know what we want, but we don't really know how to say it. So when we first launch the product, what we usually do, we just put a few angles of the product, shot a few angles. We hire some Fiverr photographer, or we try to do it ourselves. And then we slap it on Amazon. With time, we evolve, we understand that, okay, we have to highlight a few benefits, a few things on the product. So we add those bullet points, but we add them in the bullet points. We don't add them on the images. And then we learn that, listen, we have to add the bullet points on the images as well, and actually tell a better story. And that it's not always the best way, because you have to understand what you are saying on those images. And sometimes the difference between the clarity of your message, what the image shows versus what you tell, is usually different. And people don't really know the difference between benefits and how do you say, features, right? Everyone says like features and benefits, but what is the benefit, right? Well, the benefit is, why do I really need this product for? You have to be clear in that thing. Is like, this is addressing your pain, right? It's solving a problem. That is the benefit. When you know that you take the product and it will resolve your pain. So having the measurements of the product really helps, but not always. Sometimes it's really important, but sometimes you don't really need that. So having the order of the images on Amazon is also very important, right? How you say it and the priority of the messaging. That's why I'm saying that, listen, sometimes just switching the order of your images can increase your conversion rate. And I found that's why on Sellametrics we build the simulator, the listing simulator, because when you upload your images, like, how do you know which image is actually more effective than another one? How do you know? For example, I'm the owner of the store, right? Like, I build this product. I'm so emotionally attached to this thing. It's crazy. It's like my child. You say something bad about my product, I take it personally, man, right? Like, usually how it works. Like, I learned to detach myself from that, but usually that it is. And the person that designed that thing for you, he's also emotionally attached in a different way, but he's the designer. It's like the egoism is bigger. Usually the designer's ego is bigger than themselves. And the more novice they are, the bigger is the ego. With time, we'll learn to, like, okay, it's not about my personal opinion, it's about the market. You learn some conversion things and stuff like that. But we need to go away from that thing, right? So we guess. We have to remove the guess and make it about the data. What is working? How do you know that? How do you know? You do some split testing on a usual website, on split testing website, on A/B split testing websites, and how do you know the order of the images? They have some order of the images arrangement, right? Like, vote for this image first, second, third, fourth. Well, guess what? On Amazon, it's not like that. When the shopper comes to Amazon, they don't judge on just 6 images, right, on a white Canva. They have a specific UI that Amazon was perfecting for like years. So how do you make sure that that works the same way? How do you know that it will work on your case, right? You have to simulate that environment. So we've built those Amazon-like simulators where you take your ASIN, or built from scratch, right? And you extract it from Amazon. So we simulate the Amazon environment. So when our panelists come and vote, they see it as an Amazon shopper see it. So they rate on each image and give you a score. So then you look at the score and you understand, okay, this image got like 3.5, this image got 4.3. And you see the average score, but you see like the granularity, right, per image. Okay, this is the image that actually has a problem. Because sometimes you look and you think like, listen, I was doing a collagen for a customer, and we had to talk about the benefits of the collagen for the hair, right? So it's like you have how do you say, bright, like, I forgot the word, but it's like quality skin and like nice hair, right? So I chose a woman based on my personal taste of what I thought is good, and I uploaded. I thought like, this is, man, it sucked. And it hurt because I felt like I know what I'm doing. But I learned that, listen, we've done like 4,000 surveys already with Sellametrics. And I learned that my taste means nothing. I'm the minority in this thing, right? So upon doing the survey, I'm like, my image got like 3.8
What were
out of
people
5.
saying? Like, do they
And
leave
they were,
comments? What did they say?
yeah, the women's were saying like, listen, this woman, her hair doesn't look healthy. What are you talking about? There's a dissonance between the message, what are you saying, and the image. Unless you test with the right audience, you have no idea. You're just guessing. And with time, we develop that skill, internal skill that our gut say that this is best. And usually it helps, but it's good to know exactly. So I went and I changed it. Bam, went from 3.7, I think, to 4.1. And then, okay, now it's better. Then I said, how about I move this image to the back? And by just switching the image to the back, because at the end, we actually ask the people, but which of those 2 products you would actually buy? We don't just ask of the image rating, we actually ask them for the purchase intention, right? So then they judge from a different angle completely. They think emotionally, the impression, the overall impression, and they can't really answer you why, but for some reason they pick one product versus other. And sometimes the difference is like 70 or 80-20. And that's like, wow, really? I've done Zulay Kitchen garlic press versus some competitor, and Zulay is selling like 10,000 units, and the other guy was selling like 1,000 or 2,000 units. Guess how was the difference between the buying purchase? The images was like, one was 4.5, another one was like 4.1. So not a big difference, right? 4.4 versus 4.1. But the buying likelihood was 80-20. And you can see and say like, okay, this image sucks. Like, this is what? This is why. So then change that stuff, and the perception when you rerun the survey is completely changed just because you switch the image to the back. And here's what I wanted to touch about, the importance of the message. Let's say you're a family of 5, like 2 adults and 3 kids, right? Living in New York, average family, middle class, and you need to upgrade your car. You need to buy another SUV, right? So you would probably buy a van or an SUV. Now, you're driving the highway, right? And you see 2 ads in one day and another day, right? One is for Hyundai, another one is for Honda. The message that would be on the billboard, it's gonna leave a footprint on you. Like, that would dictate which car would you go and give a try. That's the CTR. Like, you just, okay, I want to check that car. Because if the message doesn't resonate, you're not gonna even come to the dealer. You're not buying from that billboard. You just get an impression. That's the main image on Amazon. Main image on Amazon sets the tone, but doesn't actually affect the conversion as much. It plays on an overall perception role. But the main image is just the shop. When you go down the road on a busy street, is the restaurant outlook. And when you enter inside, that's where you're converting, like how it looks inside, right? But the main image sets the tone. So when you're driving with your family down the highway and you see that banner with the cars, what is written on that banner is highly important. So what you're gonna say, if you're gonna talk about, like, if the Hyundai is gonna say, listen, the rooftop can fit a special bag for, I don't know, 200 pounds, or it's gonna talk about the spare tire. It's like, we have an innovative spare tire, or I don't know. The message is irrelevant to you. Versus Honda is gonna say, our new Odyssey, 30 miles per gallon, or like 40 miles per gallon, fits 8 people and cost 40K. I'm gonna go and check it because it answered my internal how do you call it, intrinsic questions. I'm not a native, so
yeah
answer my fear, my desires, my problems. And it's the same on Amazon. If you can answer your customers' needs the best, you are converting. There's no other way around that. Is everyone has some questions inside their mind. So how are you going to address those questions? That's how you're going to convert. And if you can match the majority, you have a winner.
Awesome. I love that. So Andrei, a couple questions then. How do you know what questions people are coming to that product with, right? How do you know what their pain points are in order to best customize those images to serve their needs?
How do I know what questions? Well, I run the survey. Before I do the survey, I know the product myself pretty well. I do some research before that. And I'm building a customer avatar for specific products. Who is the product? Who is the customer for this product? What do they need? What they eat, where they are, all about them, right? Then what pain point my product is solving. If it's a headlamp, it's one pain point. If it's a SUV, it's a completely different pain point. So I know that if this is a camping headlamp, then it has to have a red light. It has to have a capacity for the battery specific, right, to be the maximum. It has to be a comfortable strap because kids may wear it. Whatever, it needs a red light so I can not bother other people and go around the campfire. You started developing that product, so you write those down. Then you run an initial, you go and you do an initial survey. So you have to benchmark yourself and understand where you sit versus the market. Then you understand, okay, this is what my market is talking, and you analyze your competitors, take like 10, 20 of them, and you see what everyone is talking about. And don't be judgmental. Actually test, because sometimes I've done that. I sell bicycle lights, and in the bicycle lights niche, there's specific pain points, right? And people are talking about, I think, USB rechargeable features mostly first. And I was like, that doesn't really make sense. You better talk about how bright is it. Well, it comes out that people really care about the USB feature, maybe more than about the brightness at some point, because not all of them understand the brightness well. So you have to actually dive deep, take your personal opinion aside, and be as a judge where you're okay, let's look apples to apples and pears to pears, right? And then you look, and people will tell you in the comments what actually they care about more, and then these things come together.
Andrei, that makes a lot of sense. So, Andrei, while you were going through that, I think there's something that I want to share with the audience that we currently do with our products that I think has made a huge difference in the way that we build our listings. So, number one, whenever we have, I also like to think that we know the product and the end consumer pretty well. But at the end of the day, I'm not always the one who is, paying for that product. And other people have different needs and desires and pain points that I might not personally be aware of. And so one of my favorite things is we'll go and take the positive and negative reviews, okay? And we will download them from Amazon. We will upload them into ChatGPT, okay? And we will then ask ChatGPT to basically just give us a summary. What are the pros? What are the cons? Or like, what are the negative things that people are saying? What are the positive things? What do they like? Okay. Then we're going to then take that information. We're going to respond in that same ChatGPT thread. And we're going to say, hey, ChatGPT, for this product, let's say it's a, like garlic press, right? Is the most famous example. Let's say you've got a garlic press. Okay. And you say, hey, ChatGPT, based on these positive and negative reviews, give me the top 5 main audiences or consumers that would be purchasing these products and detail out their psychographics. Okay. Now, what psychographics does is it's going to give you things such as, hey, you've got a busy parent. Okay. These individuals are typically parents who juggle multiple responsibilities. They value efficient meal planning, food preparation, so on and so forth. It gives me health enthusiasts. It gives me home managers or professional chefs, working professionals, etc. So it's going to give you a list of these psychographics, which is going to help you understand, like, hey, here are maybe my top 5 audiences or consumers that are going to be looking for this product. Then I'm going to then turn back to ChatGPT and say, hey, give me the specific needs or desires from each of those 5 different audiences that you just provided me. And then it's going to detail out, hey, for a professional chef, they're going to want something that is quick, easy to use. For a busy parent, they also want something that's quick and easy to use, but also probably safe. So if their kids ever get a handle of it, it's not going to, cause any harm or anything like that. So you can see how all of these subtle nuances are starting to shed light of like different things that I should touch on in my images. And here's one of my favorite prompts that we give to ChatGPT. So the next thing that we do after we get those pain points, those needs, desires from ChatGPT, we will go back for each of those 5 like psychographics of our target customer, and we will say, create a 1,000 word journal entry about considering purchasing this product, okay, for a busy mom. Okay. Then ChatGPT is going to give you some fictitious date. Dear journal, life has been nothing short of a whirlwind today. Between juggling work, taking care of the kids, and managing a household, every day feels like a marathon. Amidst the chaos, I've been on the quest to find X, Y, and Z. Right. So you can see, like, I'm reading off like literally what ChatGPT has been providing me right now. And all of a sudden, if you, the person who's designing these images or considering what secondary images you want to provide to your customer, like, you're now getting inside the mind of your customer in ways that you probably never even would have realized, right? Like, I am not a professional chef. I am also not a busy working mother that plans the meals or does the meal prep. And so being able to like read these journal entries helps me get inside the mind of the customer. And then the last thing that we do is we say, all right, hey, ChatGPT, take some of the highlights from the positive reviews, from the pain points that were in the journal entries, and create 20 different persuasive, powerful statements that would get the customer excited to purchase this product. Okay. And so it's going to be, tired of mealtime chaos, say goodbye to last minute stress with the easiness of this garlic press, right? Plan meals in minutes, not hours, or create meals in minutes and not hours, right? So now it's giving me some catchy like phrases that I could use to incorporate on those secondary images. Because one thing that I heard from you, Andrei, is the importance of that message and the clarity of that message and speaking to their pain points, their needs and desires is one of the most important things. So I just wanted to share that with the audience to let them know, like, this is how we get into the mind of the consumer. This is how we understand their needs and pain points. But to your point, Andrei, this is not the end all be all. I think using a tool like Sellametrics is super important, because then you get actual real life feedback from somebody that has a totally different perspective than you. So Any other tools or tips and thoughts on that, Andrei?
Yeah. The ChatGPT is really phenomenal. The problem is that it's pretty cold, so it doesn't really look at it as a person yet. So while you can use it as an advisor, it boasts you all those cool, catchy copy. You have to test it. You have to go and see, like, is it really resonating with the people? Because the same phrase, you can say it in so many different ways, right? For example, if this is a spoon for kitchen, right? Like a big spoon, whatever. You can say easy cleaning or cleans in 3 seconds. Like, how do you know which one would resonate? Because believe me or not, the way you write that sentence on Amazon on your images would really make a difference in your conversion rate. Maybe it would be like 0.3, but it will have a conversion rate, because how easy will I digest that information in my brain and move on? Like, what you have to do is you have to remove yourself from the customer's way when he's on his way to buy the product. Like, right, when you go into a store and there's like assistants always bugging you, like, hey sir, like, do you want to try this? It's like, no, I know what I want to be, right? Unless you're super professional and you're like, okay, so you're looking, when you go to Apple Store, right? Like, they come, they don't really try to interfere with you unless they see that you want that. So then they will help you and they will go. But everything is made for you to convert. There's no resistance. It's made easy. Same here. Make that message super, super clear. So get out of the way and make it understandable. But you can also try another thing as well with ChatGPT. You can build a custom GPT that can speed those things for you, right? Speed out those things. So you can take some interesting courses on copywriting and upload it to a custom ChatGPT. Then you can take some interesting videos, for example. You take our videos, you transcribe it, you upload it to ChatGPT. He will then take our knowledge and apply it to the future judgments. Take, for example, Aaron Cordova's recording, right, on something, because the guy knows stuff about Amazon. There's a reason why big sellers are big sellers, because they constantly optimize. So all of them, Mr. Pan, the same way, all of them, they know what they're doing and they teach their team. So take those knowledge, apply it to a ChatGPT and ask him the same question again. But also go and upload your customer avatar as well. Who's your customer? You know it. Build it with him. Ask ChatGPT, let's build a customer avatar for this product. This is my initial thoughts. He will go and he will give you, okay, this is how you build a customer avatar. This is what you need. So you upload that information. Then you ask, okay, now these are the keywords for the product. Okay, upload that thing on. And now give me 7 benefits for this product to go on an Amazon listing. He'll give you 7. Judge on them. Ask again. Go put them on images. Test with your competitor and see where you go. Man,
Perfect.
I bet you will go like, wow, really?
Yeah.
That's working? Okay. Like, switch the word, upload it on Amazon. Don't go with Amazon Experiment and wait 2 weeks. There's no time.
So, Andrei, I do have a question for you. Can you give me some maybe case studies of times you've been working with either some clients or even with your own brands? Like, give me some quick hitting tips from those case studies. Like, what did you change on the main image that made a significant impact? Or what was it in the secondary images that made a significant difference that boosted that conversion rate? Can you give me some examples?
Yeah. So we've done a recent product update, okay, on a consumable product. And the product was kind of dead for a year. Was selling 15 units a day, was eating $25 in PPC a day, barely making a profit, like $5 profits. I was going crazy because I designed it myself. I had a designer do the label, stuff like that, but I optimized, changed and stuff like that. Didn't help for some reason. And we had a more volume. It's a liquid, so ours is 15 ounces, everyone else is 12 ounces. I didn't understand why this thing doesn't convert. So run the surveys. On the main image, I added a nice color strip. Mine was black. I added a nice color strip and I added the benefits of what this product does in 3 punchy things, like 3 bullet points. Does this, this, and this, right? If it's, for example, let's say this is a vitamin, I don't know, it's a collagen, right? So improves skin, helps, let's say, digestion, whatever. I'm going off script, but whatever. And does something else, like help your nails, right? Those 3 things: nail, skin, and hair, for example, right? In an orange strip versus black. Because I noticed that my competitor had it in brown, and that was related to the product and was helping psychology. So I said, like, I need to have a spot of color. I added brown and I added made in USA. I added orange and I added made in USA with those 3 call out things on the product. Plus I had my main keyword on the label, because we designed it initially to have the main thing on the label. So if it's a collagen peptides, you have collagen peptides plus a secondary message as well underneath. I had place for that as well. So the label was pretty big. That helped. That helped my CTR. And then we improved the order of the images. I noticed that my third image was actually ranking the worst in customers' likeliness of the images, right? So it received like 3 point something. I thought that image is the best because I liked it. I took it. So that was the ego, right? So I removed the image, but I liked the copy. So I took the copy and I incorporated on another image just, right? I added as a small bullet point. So now I have the same message, but I just removed the low performing message and I replaced it with the higher performing one, right? So we improved 2 images. We switched the place. We put the worst ones to the back, and that thing helped the product go from 15 sales a day to 57 sales a day in 7 or 9 days. And the PPC, we were able to scale the PPC from $25 to $85 a day. And the profitability went from like, I don't know, $5 a day to like $20, $30 a day. And this product is really profitable because it's a low margin product on like 200 sales a day and up, right? So then is something interesting. But we got a pesticide ban last 2 weeks ago. So they killed the product, but 2 weeks we solved the problem. The product is back, and now it's at 32 sales a day the first day when we relaunched it back without A+, because I removed A+, I forgot to put it back. But because the image deck was healthy and answering all the questions about that product, they didn't really needed the A+ that much. Of course, I added it back because everything impacts the experience.
Yeah.
But it helped. So
I love that.
That was wow for me.
No, makes a lot of sense. Great case study. So, Andrei, I have a question for you about Sellametrics. Obviously, over the last few years, there's been a lot of A/B testing tools that have come out on the market. You have Product Pinion, you have PickFu, you have IntelliV. There's a lot, and everybody seems to use something different. So I'm interested to hear what sets Sellametrics apart from all those other ones.
Because we are the single ones that have real life simulators, not some white canvas images. You don't know how the voters, the people that respond to those surveys, receive those surveys. How do you know? Because if you're testing the main image, you have to serve it as it is on Amazon. If you serve it with the big image, like you design it 900 by 900, right, or 2000 pixels, you have to see how that's being served, because this is what's going to affect. I know this because this happened to me. We built Sellametrics twice, right? Like first time it went away, my developer ran away with the code, so we had to rebuild it back. Now, in the first time, that was last year, when I was running a survey, I noticed that one of my main image was winning over the competitor. Now, when the site went down, I had to utilize something to test my audiences, because I still had my people, but I wanted to check something with them, right? Another image. So I used Google Forms to send to my people, right? Then I see that my competitor is winning, and I'm like, why? Why is that happening? Like, I was winning, like, and I was thinking, like, why it doesn't sell? I run it with that thing, and I start analyzing. I do it again. I did it like 5 times, and always they winning on the Google form, I'm winning on Sellametrics, right? But that was a basic test, A/B test, like all of them do that stuff, like big images. You upload what you upload, that's what you receive, right? And I go on and look, like on Google form, the image is really small, it's served small. Put them side by side, I'm looking, oh man, you can't really see the details on mine. The details shine on his when it's small. You can really see the details on mine when it's big, but not that well when it's small. So this is the reason. I was like, okay, I think I need to simulate somehow Amazon. So we've been working on that for like 2 times. First time we did it in 2022, And then came 2023, and now in 2024 we launched it with the new team, and it's doing great. But that was an eye opening for me. Like, you have to serve it as on Amazon, because that's how you're gonna be judged on Amazon. On Amazon, there's competitors. You can't test two images side by side and think, okay, you're gonna win on Amazon.
Yeah.
Did you ever Googled on Amazon apple cider vinegar and just two ASNs popped up? Never in my life have seen that, unless you do it with the comma, right? Who do that? Only Amazon sellers. That's it.
Yeah.
People insert a keyword, they're being served like 40 results. Go compete with those guys. And amongst 20 of them, there's one big boy. They're gonna eat you alive if you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
You spend your money on PPC, good luck, right? Now on Sellametrics, when we do the search simulator, we copy Amazon Outlook, of course removing all the logos associated with Amazon, but everything else looks quite similar. So we upload 10 ASNs from Amazon, where you choose those ASNs, right? You have them, you edit what you want to them. You can't blur the image, the reviews. You can't blur the title, because guess what? You can't blur them on Amazon. You can make them the same, all of them. So like, people don't judge on them, but they have to be there, because psychologically, when somebody's on Amazon, they see reviews. And if they don't see review on a product, it's kind of tricky, right? Because we ask particular question, like which image would you actually click on and why, right? So they click on the first image, but we have a randomizer on. So you press the randomizer. Each time a voter will receive this browser, because they receive it as a browser, and if it's mobile, it's going to shrink on a mobile, and you're going to see it as a mobile. So they're like, okay, I like this one. It's in the same size, and they press and give you the feedback. And it's not just you versus your competitor. It doesn't work like that. It's always 20. So we do it like 10 products. I think it's enough. So we always rotate them. If you want to test with the rankings on, okay, you can leave it and place the order as you want, but you have to know that where you rank is really affecting the click-through rate. So we prefer to use the randomizer. It switches the place all the time, so every voter receives the images served in a different order.
Yeah. No, makes a lot of sense, and I definitely agree that having that Amazon search simulator would be extremely powerful. So Andrei, this has been a very exciting episode. As we wrap things up, I love to leave our audience with 3 actionable takeaways from each episode. Here are the 3 actionable takeaways that I noted. You let me know if I'm missing something. Number 1, it is so important. You have to understand clearly the pain point of the customer and the way your product serves their need. At the end of the day, business is very simple. If you boil it down to, guess what it is? It is one human being serving another human being, right? If you boil it down to the simplicity of a person that comes and mows your lawn, you are paying him for a service. He is serving you by taking one thing off your to-do list of mowing your lawn, and he is saving you your time, right? So likewise, if you're selling a product, you need to think about, how is my product, how am I serving somebody? Because if I have let's say it's a lemon peeler or whatever it is, right? If you've got a lemon peeler, how are you serving the needs of somebody, right? They're not just going out and buying lemon peelers just for the thrill of it. They're doing it because they have a specific need. Your job is to go and figure out what that need is. And then how do you use copy? And copywriting is a whole other art form in and of itself. But then it's taking that copy and really packing a punch. So it truly drives home. It gets to the heart of that customer and what they're looking for. So that's number 1. And Andrei and I shared some good ChatGPT tips that you could utilize in order to better understand the need and the mind of the customer. Action item number 2. Your main image is the gateway into your product. It's not the main conversion rate affecting metric, but it is your CTR, the click-through rate. That main image is going to be the thing that gets people excited. And Andrei, you shared the good example of like the Hyundai versus a Honda billboard, right? How do you
Exactly.
know which SUV you want? Well, if you're just looking at billboards, whoever has a compelling image or a statement on that image that gets you excited, that you're like, oh, that's me. I need this. If you're in the market for a car, you're going to then go to that dealership, right? So likewise, if people are scrolling on Amazon, your main image needs to pack a punch and needs to be a showstopper that says, hey, come learn more because I am speaking to you, right? And there are different things that you could do with product packaging, right? With supplements, make sure you're speaking to the needs of the customer. Like, what are the main benefits? Is it the fact that it's sugar-free and you're catering to a keto audience, right? Make sure that's bold in front and center on that main image, the package of that product, right? If you have a lemon peeler, right, that we talked about, if it's the main thing that people are wanting is a safer lemon peeler, for example, right? Well, then make sure that you have that like some type of product packaging that's on the listing. And then you can write, a statement about, make sure your kids are never harmed again, right? Let's say that's a main concern. Then that's going to lead people to walk through that door, which leads to our final third action item, which is the order of your secondary images is vital. And Andrei, you didn't really talk too much about like, hey, make sure you have really good bullet points or description, because I don't think that's where people spend their time. What you did say, though, is take those bullets and the strong like copy phrases that you use and add them into your secondary product images, right? And so take that lifestyle image of somebody cooking with their child and they're using that lemon peeler and it's safe, right? Or take all of those pain points and make sure you drive home how your product serves and meets those needs in those images. And you provided a great tip, which is, hey, use a tool like Sellametrics to understand which order should I place these images in, because some of us might fall in love too quickly with one of the images we create ourselves. And, maybe that's actually the one you need to remove. And so testing is just something that I cannot echo strongly enough. So those are my 3 action items. Andrei, anything you think I missed here?
No, you're pretty good with that. Just remember, your second image is probably your most important image in your deck, because you've spent all those PPC dollars to convert them, to get them to click through right on your listing, and then you need to convert them. So that's where they're the freshest. They just landed and they like, okay, sell to me, right? Answer my things. Like what you say there is the most important things, like with the billboard, right? Mile per gallon, 8 people goes, it's cheap. That's what if it's a metal peeler, it's like stainless steel, super sharp, safety, razor, whatever, I don't know. Like things like that. Answer clear. Don't over saturate with a lot of messages. Be clear. You don't really need, listen, you can sell a car with 3-4 features. Then a garlic press or a microphone or something like that. 4 or 5 messages is more than enough. And you can reiterate them. You have the video, you need the video. My rule is like that. No video is bad. A good video is like, a video is better than no video. A good video is better than a bad video, right? So you need a video, but don't overthink it. Use the same messages you have in your images, have them in the video, reiterate the same things. You look at whatever, Gary Vee speaking on stage. That man is saying the same things for 10 years and is going to continue saying them the same. I guess it's working for him. I don't know, 2,000 employees and stuff like that with design agencies. It works. You don't need to reinvent the bicycle. You just have to make it go faster, right? Be more comfortable. You don't need to add a third wheel to the bicycle or 4th wheel, right? Just make it better, improve, innovate, but just clear messaging. I think this is it, what I have to say.
Love it. Good words of wisdom. Now, Andrei, I love to ask each guest the following 3 questions at the end. So we'll start with number 1. What's been the most influential book that you've read and why?
Contagious. I don't remember who wrote it, but that book is really, really good. It explains why why things get attraction, why they get so popular, and I was pretty impressed by the book, understanding that, listen, there's some things that make things work, and sometimes viral things may not sell the product. For example, avian babies, if you remember that nice video where the babies were skating, and actually it comes out it's an advertising for the water, and they say that it didn't help them at all, it didn't raise sales, because when people, they were spreading the message, the virality of the video, that hey, nice babies dancing, but where is the water in that scenario, right? Versus will it blend? You can't share the will it blend video without having the blender in it, because it's a blender blending an iPhone. And it's like, whoa, really? Like blending an iPhone, making dust out of it, like things like that. So that was really interesting for me. I loved it, and I think I reread it like 3-4 times, and I think I'm gonna start today again.
Awesome. I love that. I'm adding that one to my book list as well. Andrei, next question would be, what is the most, what's a unique new software tool that you've been using that you think is a game changer?
Okay, for me is the notepad, because I'm really not so organized, and I liked anything like Monday or Jira with like just organizing myself, my thoughts, and my planning my stuff. That's what the best for me. I use Helium 10, but I don't think it's the best for keyword tracking. I think Datarova is better. I'm gonna try that one. Scale Insights, really good tool for PPC. What else? Data Dive, pretty good. I don't really use that much. Sellametrics.
I love it. Very good. All right. Final question. Who is somebody that you admire or respect the most in the e-commerce space that other people should be following, and why?
Brian Kelsey. It's a really smart guy. Knows how to build brand and knows how to scale products. Worth listening to everything he's saying. Who else? I think Mr. Zulai Kitchen, pretty smart guy. Numbers speak for themselves. I listened to him first time on AMZ Innovate. I thought he's still something. I was like, how does he know? Like, I was like, gonna talk about that. I was like, he knows, he understands. So who else? Man, there's a lot of people I respect in the niche, but they're not so popular. They're not like out there on the front line speaking. Usually is people who know, they don't really talk about that. Oh, Brandon Young. Brandon Young is pretty smart.
Yeah. Love it. Those are some great recommendations, and we're going to have Brandon Young on the show. We've got Aaron Cordovez on the agenda as well. So some exciting guests to be on the lookout for. Now, Andrei, thank you so much for your time. If other people want to follow you along, they want to learn more, I think you even have a special offer for them. Where can people reach out to you at?
So, guys, you can find me on Twitter. It's Andrei Ureche 5. There will be a link in show notes, I guess, or something like that. You can find me on Sellametrics. And I open my calendar for anyone who wants to book a call with me. I give you free 30 minutes with me. We can go over your deck and brainstorm some ideas. It's completely free, and it's for me. And there's going to be a deal for sellametrics.com/ecom breakthrough. And you're going to have $100 on surveys on top of the bonuses that we already give you when you subscribe to our membership. There's a pay-as-you-go plan if you want, but there's also a free trial if you take any of our packages. And if you take $100 package, you get $100 of the bonuses, and you get $100 on the credits that are going to roll over each month if you don't use them. And we're going to give you $100 on top just for your audience. So it's a no-brainer. It's a 7-day trial. So try it.
That's awesome. That's a very generous offer, Andrei. So definitely go take him up on that. We will have the links here in the show notes, wherever you're tuning in from. So, Andrei, thank you so much for joining us today. And it was a pleasure, and we'll be following you in your journey and wish you the best of success.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Really pleasure. Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Visit ecommbreakthrough.com for more information. If you've enjoyed today's episode, the best way you can show your appreciation is by clicking the subscribe button and quickly leaving a review. See you again next time.